I dream of a golden moon and silver stars. When first we met and danced to sweet guitars, music that breaks my heart, bringing me dear golden memories and silver tears, golden memories and silver tears are my lonely heart's souvenirs. All that you've left me are memories dear, golden memories and silver tears. And now, dear, my golden moon has turned to blue, and all those silver stars are gone with you. Oh, memory of love, bringing me pain. Oh, how sad to love and love all in vain. Golden memories and silver tears are my lonely heart's souvenirs. All that you've left me are memories dear, golden memories and silver tears.
Oh, I could hide 'neath the wings of the bluebird as she sings. The 6 o'clock
though wishing well. I'll be seeing you through every lovely summer's day, in everything that's light and gay. I'll always think of you that way. I'll find you in the morning sun, and when the night is new, I'll be looking at the moon, but I'll be seeing you. I'll be seeing you through every lovely summer's day, in everything that's light and gay. I'll always think of you that way. I'll find you in the morning sun, and when the night is new, I'll be looking at the moon, but I'll be seeing you.
All of me, why not take all of me? Can't you see I'm no good without you? Take my rings, I wanna lose them. I take my arms, I'll never use them. Your goodbye, they left me with eyes that cry. How can I get along without you? You took the part that once was my heart, so why not take all of me? Let's go. Let's go. Your goodbye left me with eyes that cried. Now I'm lost without you, and now that you took that part that used to be my heart, all of me, why not take all of me? Can't you see I'm a mess without you? You took the part that used to be my heart, so why not take all of me?
not much, but it's the best I can do. My gift is my song, and this one's for you. And you can tell everybody this is your song. It may be quite simple, but now that it's done, I hope you don't mind, I hope you don't mind that I put down in the words how wonderful life is while you're in the world. I sat on the roof, picked out the moss. Well, a few of the verses, well, they've got me quite cross. But the sun's been quite kind while I wrote this song. It's for people like you that keep it turned on. So excuse me for getting, but these things I do, you see, I've forgotten if they're green or they're blue. Anyway, the thing is, what I really mean, yours are the sweetest eyes I've ever seen. And you can tell everybody this is the song. It may be quite simple, but now that it's done, I hope you don't mind, I hope you don't mind that I put down in the words how wonderful life is while you're in the world. I hope you don't mind, I hope you don't mind that I put down in the words how wonderful life is while you're in the world. It's a human sign when things go wrong, when the scent of her lingers, temptation strong, into the boundary of each married man. Sweet deceit comes calling, and negativity lies. Cold, cold heart done by you. Some things look better, baby, just passing through. And it's no sacrifice, just a simple be a long, long time. And I think it's gonna be a long, long time. And I think it's gonna be a long, long time. And I think it's gonna be a long, long time. And I think it's gonna be a long, long time. be my partner every night? When we're together, it feels so right. Could I have this dance for the rest of my life? I'll always remember that magic moment when I held you close to me. As we moved together, I knew forever you're all I'll ever need. Could I have this dance for the rest of my life? Would you be my partner every night? When we're together, it feels so right. Could I have this dance for the rest of my life? Could I have this dance for the rest of my life? Would you be my partner every night? When we're together, it feels so right. Could I have this dance for the rest of my life?
Today we have met to honour the life of Mrs. Betty Ann McGinty, a loved wife, mother, grandmother. To express our thanks for her life, to say goodbye to her, and to support each other in our loss. Betty would not have wanted a big fuss made at her farewell. I think she would have said, keep things short and sweet, get it over and done with, and just say thank you to all the good people who came today to pay their respects. She would have loved each and every one of you, and each and every one of you would have your own very special memories of this special lady. She wouldn't want you to be sad. In fact, she would much prefer you to smile. So when you think of Betty, just smile in memory. Nothing can now detract from all that you have shared with Betty. Nothing can affect the happiness and the great depth of experience that she herself knew. The past, with all its meaning, is sacred. It is also secure. And your love for Betty and her love for you, her family and friends, can never be altered by time or by circumstance. We're live streaming again today, and to the people on the other end of the camera, welcome aboard. We know that you can't be with us for various reasons, but the family knows that your sympathies are with them, and they do thank you for sharing in the service in this manner. I also have a very special message to pass on to you from the Prime Minister of Australia, the Honourable Scott Morrison, who sends his regards, his sympathies to the family, and of course, having known politically good friends in this particular area, and Mr. Gavin Pearce MP, of course. And yes, so Mr. Morrison sends his very best to you all, and deepest sympathy and best regards to the lot of you. So hold your loved ones close today and whisper in their ear. Tell them how much you love them and that you'll always hold them dear. Take time to say, I'm sorry, please forgive me, or it's okay. And if tomorrow never comes, then you'll have no regrets about today. As I sat with the family the other day, I was enlightened on quite a few different things, and I learned a lot about Betty, and a few of those things that I gleaned I'd like to share with you. We do have a couple of very eminent speakers shortly to join us, and later on I'll be opening the service for any of you who would care to come up and share your story. But I learned that Betty Ann McGinty was born in Deloraine on the 8th of the 8th, 1960, to Bill and Thelma Bramage. Her siblings, Andrew, Kevin, deceased, Don and Joan. And a very special mention to niece Tracy, the favoured one, I'm told. Betty went to school in Deloraine, and later on the women will know all about that, the beautiful perfumes and the makeups, and yeah, but she worked there for 20 years or more, I think, plus 20 years, and part-time at a place called Sunshades, a glass company, and she was never out of a job, always busy, always doing something. But getting back a little bit, one day she was with a girlfriend in the phone box. Some of you will remember a phone box. And the two girls were in the phone box, and down the road on his push bike came a handsome young fellow by the name of Jeffrey McGinty. Now, I think Cupid was hanging around the phone box too that day, and he's a pretty good shot usually. But one thing led to another. I know you're way in front of me, but anyway, I think they became a number. They got hooked up on the same line at the telephone box, I think, Paddy. And that was it. They clicked. And I think they were both about the grand ripe old age of about 15. But anyway, it was a lasting lifetime of memories there. They were married in 1986, and the family has been complemented by two daughters, Megan and Kylie, grandchildren Chloe and Claire, deceased, Zachary, Charlie, Floyd and Isla. And I believe that Nan was a woman who never ever said no. Is that right, Isla? Yes, Isla agrees with me. Yeah, she was a lovely Nan, wasn't she? And she spoilt the grandkids, yeah. And there was no such word. If Mum said no, they'd run straight to Grandma. She wouldn't say no. She was an avid reader, I believe, of both fact and fiction, and she especially loved the crime series, the crime books, and she probably worked out who done it before she got to the last page. She was a green thumb trier. She had a go at things in the garden, but yeah, she wasn't really the best gardener, but she was a trier. So she's got to get points for that. But she was a good cook, and I'm told that the Sunday roast was a speciality. Yeah. Smells good already. She followed the tennis on television, the Olympics. She watched the football, but she didn't have a team herself. She probably wasn't game because there were 3 or 4 family members who each followed different teams. And I think she probably heard enough arguments in Tassie, finished up at Cape York. So you can't get much further out than that. And the other way, Byron Bay that way, and Steep Point in WA that way. So wherever the extremities were, that's where you'd find them on the track. Well, that's when they weren't broken down. They had a vehicle with a little spot of bother once, it broke down from Sydney to Cape York. I think it broke down about 7 times, didn't it, mate? Yeah. But anyway, they eventually got to the Birdsville races, and there's a couple of stories there that Paddy might expound a little bit later on. But they went all over the place, met some wonderful people, and our Betty wasn't one to have a photograph taken. Usually when people go on holidays like that, they sit on a ledge of rock, or they're standing there admiring a tall building or whatever, and people, yes, there we are. Well, no way. She was camera shy to the extreme and very, very rarely photographed, and I don't know how you came across that one, but anyway, there she is today, and a beautiful picture of her as well. But no, she had no desire whatsoever to feature in the photos. But a little bit later on, we'll be having a look at some of the family photos that are in the collection. A big thank you from the family to Paddy himself for the wonderful work he did in looking after Betty. Yeah, the family are very proud of you, mate. Also Dr. Andrew Clark, Mariah Smith, and the medical and surgical staff at the Burnie General Hospital. Well, especially in the last 6 weeks or so of Betty's life, and a lot of good friends clubbed together and made sure that she was as comfortable as she possibly could be, and they did things for her. And yeah, and our Jeffrey learned a lot of new skills, I think, recently on how to cook and how to do this and how to do the rest, and where the vacuum cleaner switch is. And yeah, but no, thanks on behalf of the family there, and to you good people who nursed Mum. Yeah, she would have been so proud of that. I have a couple of people who are ready, willing and able to come forward and share a few stories of Betty's life. And I think perhaps, Megan, you might, I can see you've got your paperwork ready there, and you might like to come and share some stories of Mum with everybody. Would you like to bring Isla with you? Yes.
My dearest friend Betty. Well, this just sucks, doesn't it? Well, I thought about writing to you. I didn't know what to say, as this is beyond anything I have ever had to do. Then I thought about the upbeat, smiling, always there for me, Betty, and I knew what I wanted to say. You give so much of yourself to those around you, whether they be physically close to you or in another state. Over the past 14 years, you have been a shining light in my life and someone that has supported me more than you will ever know. Whether I was stressed with work or celebrating the birth of my first grandchild, you were there lending a supportive ear while I had my moments. I would arrive home to a package of handmade dresses for my niece because I mentioned she loved Paw Patrol, or a bag load of my favourite cosmetics because you know what I like. Your thoughtfulness was never ending. Whether we were running amok at our work get-togethers or taking a photo of my butt in the freezer at the Coles, you were always up for a good time. The deep love you have for your family is precious, as I'm sure their love for you is just as strong. Whatever the future holds, I want you to know that you are someone I look up to, someone I admire, and someone that I love. You are a precious soul, Betty McGinty, and I'm so proud to call you my friend. I have filled this letter with the biggest hugs that you can imagine, so I hope that you receive them and wrap them around you and hold them there for the longest time. I will sign off now, but not say goodbye, just see you later. Forever in my thoughts and prayers, your friend Jack.
Read that one?
Do you want to read this one from Tracy?
No, I want to read the other one.
Okay, well, I'll read this one first, okay? So this one is from Mum's niece, Tracy. I am forever thankful of the time we spent together, You were the best auntie anyone could ask for. You would go out of your way to help when you could, especially when Mum was sick, and I thank you from the bottom of my heart. We're going to be lost without you. You have left a big hole in our hearts, but you're at peace now. Your loving niece, Tracy. Do you want to read this one?
I want to read the first page.
Do you want to read this page?
No, you read it.
Okay. Do you want to read the second page? Okay. So this is something I put together. Took me a long time, and I'm no good with words.
I'll read it.
Okay.
They say only the good die. Young was so lucky. You were here for 60 years as you were the best. You put everyone before yourself and would do anything for anyone. You went without yourself so us kids could have so much. And you continued, this is so you could spoil the grandkids rotten. In Isla's own word, Nan gets me everything. And on the subject of doing anything for anyone, you even read all my books for my school book reviews, as you knew how much I hated reading, and this was one of your favourite passions. You would run us all to sporting events statewide and stand out in the cold and cheer us on every single game. You never missed one. I appreciated it, but then now, as a mother, I have so much more appreciation. When I was 8, we went on our first family holiday to the state, and this ignited a family passion for travel. I was lucky enough to go with you and Dad on your first camping trip up to Cape York and Birdsville, and this resulted in you and Dad travelling all over Australia at different times in the past 15 years. You are all the person that can travel around Australia multiple times and have no photos of yourself at any Australian landmarks, but you have 3,000 photos of sunsets of Western Australia. We only found out you were sick 38 days before you left us. In those 38 days, you commented on how you won't run an ultra-marathon again or go back to Disneyland. Only 1% of the world's population has run an ultra-marathon, and I'm sure there is a lot less than can say they did it beside their mum like I did. And that once-in-a-lifetime trip to Disneyland within the first 24 hours of us being there, you had and Isla saying, when we come back again, and me reminding you it was a once-in-a-lifetime experience. Isla and I are so blessed to have that amazing experience with you. We asked that there anything you wanted to do before you go to sick, and the only thing you could think of was go along the Ulverston walking track one last time. This made me happy, as you were happy with the life you lived. We didn't quite get you to the walking track, but I promise as soon as I can run again that I will be the first track I go on. Your last outing was to Relay for Life, and a very fitting that was now. Not only did you attend because of what it stands for, you attend as we register back in December, and you didn't want to let anyone down. You always said, I got my stubbornness and determination from Dad, but the stubbornness and determination you showed right up to Sunday, when you told us you were just having a bad day and you would be right. Shows I get from both sides. Before I finish, I would just like to share a paragraph on Sunday afternoon. I miss Nan a lot more than anything. I am happy she had no pain now. We love you, Nan, and hope you have received all the balloons sent you over the past few days.
Good girl, thank you. Good girl.
Yes, well done, young lady. Oh, well, both young ladies. Yeah, and thank you all for your great show of silence and respect when the little one was reading that. I've heard much rowdier sessions happen in Parliament, so you might take note of that, Mr. Pearce. We have with us today, I believe, one of Betty's very good friends, Irene, or better known as Squirt. And I'll call on Squirt to come forward, please, and to share a story or two with us. I'm sure some of the stories can be told in public, Squirt.
Oh, some.
Over to you.
Thank you very much. Wow, what a hard act to follow, Isla. Hi, for those of you that don't know me, I'm Squirt from Arthur River. I would like to say a few words on behalf of Betty and Paddy's Arthur River family. Grapes and I met Paddy and Betty nearly 7 years ago when Paddy rang up looking for a builder to change a couple of windows. Well, that turned into a major reno on the shack at the river and the beginning of a great friendship for us. Betty and I just clicked right from the start. She spoke my language, which was a few swear words thrown in. We both had hubbies who were hard-working, typical Aussie blokes. We all liked to drink. Betty not as much. She would have a wine with me or a couple of ciders and would usually go home early. Betty and Paddy soon got to know the whole crew at the river, which was Flinny, Jocelyn, Baz, John and Shirley, Croomy, Faye and Dunny, just to name a few, which then led to plenty of drinks and stories, bullshit or otherwise. They also got to know our kids and grandkids and soon formed a bond with them, enjoying their company as much as us. We enjoyed grand final days in Baz's shed, bus trips to the Marrawar pub, milestone birthdays, New Year's Eve at our place around the fire outside, which the men like to try and organise the meal with the great Weber cook-offs, which was only the meat, and of course Betty and I were left to do everything else. We spent plenty of times on the Arthur Beach, usually getting wood, which Betty and I split and stacked on the bus while the men had a chainsaw off. We also went shark fishing in the water, fully clothed to get it. Betty and I were pissing ourselves laughing because by this time Paddy's up to his tits in the water. He finally got the bag, walked back in, handed it to Grapes, got in his bus and drove off. Not one word to Betty, just left her on the beach with us. Anyway, he did come back with dry clothes on and his tail between his legs. Needless to say, we took the piss out of him for the rest of the night. 3 years ago, Betty, Paddy, Flinny and Jocelyn, Grapes and I decided to start doing some January trips to tick off Tassie and head to places we hadn't seen. So we've been as far as Cockle Creek, Dover, Port Arthur, East Coast, Musselrow Bay and heaps of places in between. We booked Airbnbs and mainly cooked our own meals. I was usually appointed chief cook, Betty my right-hand man and, dare I say, the best kitchen bitch ever, and Jocelyn the washer-upper. These were great times together doing all the tourist things, lots of food, drinks and plenty of laughs and some great photos taken by Jocelyn, aka Menga's back paddock. Betty would always say to me, "What can I do for you, darling?" and then bend over backwards. Give me a sec. To help me in any way she could. I'll miss our chats about our grandkids, our walks on the beach, our bitch sessions about our hobbies. And although I've only known Betty for 7 years, it feels like she's always been there. And I'm privileged and proud to call her one of my best friends. She was a hard-working, strong woman who had a heart of gold and will be sorely missed by all of us at the river. And we'll definitely do our best to look after the old dog for you. Bye, Betty. Gone home early for the last time.
Yeah, a very emotional squirt. Thank you for that. Betty would have been so proud of that. And I don't know what you call a squirt under pressure, but there must be a name for it somewhere. Yeah, but you did well. Thank you. Do we have any other speakers, anyone who would like to come forward and share a story? I know there are many stories, but if somebody would like to share a story? No, that's okay. I know it's an emotional time for everyone, but around the refreshments afterwards, well, no doubt there'll be some stories told and lots of memories recounted. Now, we're going to go back a little in Betty's life per virtue of some lovely family photographs that the family have put together, and we're going to listen to some of Betty's favourite music in the background. And right at the end of the photographs, I believe that there is a very special video clip. So stand by. Thank you.
There's a lady who's sure all that glitters is gold, and she's buying a stairway to heaven. When she gets there, she knows if the stores are all closed, with a word she can get what she came for. She's buying a stairway to heaven. There's a sign on the wall, but she wants to be sure, 'cause you know sometimes words have two meanings. In a tree by the brook, there's a songbird who sings. Sometimes all of our thoughts are misgiven. It makes me wonder. There's a feeling I get when I look to the west, and my spirit is crying for leaving. In my thoughts I have seen rings of smoke through the trees, and the voices of those who stand looking. Soon, if we all call the tune, then the piper will lead us to reason, and a new day will dawn for those who stand long, and the forests will echo with laughter. just a sprinkling for the May Queen. Yes, there are two paths you can go by, but in the long run, there's still time to change the road you're on. And it makes me wonder, your head is humming and it won't go. In case you don't know, the piper's calling you to join him. Dear lady, can you hear the wind blow? And did you know your stairway lies on the whispering wind?
And I can't thank you enough. To Megan's mum, Betty, you won't be getting any more mother-in-law jokes.
They kicked you out of Strawn. You burned it down and walked away because you're Irish born. You needed help with a job, so a builder you did ring. And that's the way you met us, mob, and you both just fit right in. So happy 60th birthday, Betty. We hope your day's been great. We all think you are the best and it's spoiling by old maid. You deserve the biggest medal and do an amazing job. You chop the sticks and get the wood just to look after the old dog.
It's a celebration today, there's no doubt about that. Yeah. 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 I see in the photos, Jeff, where you were forever the gentleman, pictured quite often carrying Betty's can for her. Yeah. If roses grow in heaven, Lord, please pick a bunch for me. Place them in my mother's arms and tell her they're from me. Tell her I love and miss her, and when she turns to smile, place a kiss upon her cheek and hold her for a while. Because remembering her is easy, I do it every day. But there's an ache within my heart that will never go away. It is the family wish that we share, or that I read to you the Irish blessing today, and it is in the service sheet if you would like to follow it as I read it. And I think that Betty herself would wish you these wonderful things for the rest of your lives. May the road rise to meet you. May the wind be always at your back. May the sun shine warm upon your face and the rains fall soft upon your fields. And until we meet again, may God hold you in the hollow of his hand. We have some beautiful floral tributes today that I'm about to invite the family to come forward and to place on Bet's casket while we listen to some more of Bet's favourite music.
Well, I tried to make it Sunday, but I got so damn depressed that I set my sights on Monday and I got myself undressed. I ain't ready for the altar, but I do agree there's times when a woman sure can be a friend of mine. But I keep on thinking about you, sister golden hair surprise, and I just can't live without you. Can't you see it in my eyes? I've been one poor correspondent, and I've been too hard to find, but it doesn't mean you ain't been on my mind. Will you meet me in the middle? Will you meet me in the end? Will you love me just a little, just enough to show you care? Will I try to fake it? I don't mind saying I just can't make it.
Farewell to this lovely lady. It's been a great honour, I can assure you. And there are further surprises in store for you, ladies and gentlemen, because right at the finish, when we take our final leave of our dear friend, Mr. Gavin Pearce, MP, will be playing the bagpipes and he will be piping Betty on to the next stage of her journey. So thank you for that, Gavin. So we have now reached that part of our service we call the committal, where we commit Betty to the next stage of her journey. These then are the last rites in the natural life of Mrs. Betty Ann McGinty. We have met to pay tribute and to say farewell, so tenderly and reverently we commit Betty for cremation, earth to earth, ashes to ashes, dust to dust, grateful for the life that has been lived and for all that life has meant to each and every one of us. We now leave Betty in peace, and with the greatest respect we bid her farewell. Thus thinking of her, let us leave this place in quietness ever. Rest in peace. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. Could I now invite you to stand as we commence to take our final leave of this dear lady? Thank you.